Let's do an overseed. What's going on, everyone? Chuck here, and I hope that you are having a fantastic day today. It is spring. Finally, yes! Which means I'm gonna go ahead and do a spring overseed. Now in this video, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do for my spring overseed. It's similar to what a lot of people maybe that you've already seen for their spring overseeds. So I'm going to show you what seed I'm using, I'm going to show you what fertilizer I'm going to be using, and how I'm going to do a pre-emergent and a post-emergent with Mesotrione or tenacity to sort of take care of any weeds that have already popped up and stop some other weeds from potentially popping up while I'm getting my baby grass to germinate. And also, I'm going to be splitting this video into two different channels. I'm going to be doing the bulk of the spring overseed on this channel. That's the actual overseed process, my putting down the seed, and the treating for weeds with Mesotrione. But when we get to the fertilizer portion of it, I'm going to be switching over to the next DIY channel because I do create content there. And because I'm doing a spring overseed and I am using the next line of products, it only makes sense for me to go ahead and do that on that channel, because people that are looking at that fertilizer may want to know, can I do a spring overseed with your fertilizer? Well, that answer is yes, but I'll get into more details over on that channel, and you'll know when that happens because I'll put up a graphic or something. As if there was any doubt, I'm going to be using the GCI Turf Type Tall Fescue blend because I think it's the best. When I say it's the best, let me explain for a second, because I do feel like here in the lawn care community, there's a lot of like hoity-toity, put your nose up to other people's opinions for one reason or another. So here's why I think GCI Turf Type Tall Fescue is the best. It is the best for this guy, and this is why I'm saying that. Pete over at GCI Turf, now his business is over in North Carolina, right? A lot of his customers that he throws this very grass seed down on are located over in North Carolina, just on the other side of the Smoky Mountains. And that area of the country, in a lot of ways, is very similar to us here. Now, their season typically starts a little bit sooner than ours because we're sort of in the valley between two mountain ranges. But soil type, climate are very similar here as it is over there. So when he figured out this blend of grass seeds, it was based on his conditions over there. And because of that, it wasn't based on any soil conditions anywhere else, although this does very well in other parts of the country. There's some over in California, SoCal Law and Order. It does really, because he did it, built it on the properties and all that stuff, the conditions over in North Carolina, it should do, and it does do very well here in East Tennessee because we're very similar climate and soil types. So that is why I think for my property, everything is for me. I'm not talking about for you so much, because you have your own soil conditions, you have your own climate, so I can't speak for everything. But in my opinion, for here in East Tennessee, if you're going to use Turf Type Tall Fescue, use something that's blended for a similar environment, which is what the GCI Turf Type Tall Fescue was blended for. Got 10 pounds of seed in the hopper. Now it's just time to get spreading. So the way I'm going to do this house, I think, obviously I'm always going to do a trim pass first because that's a drop spreader. So you get a little bit more precision, because in years past at my other house, I'd often use like the broadcast, and I'd get it in the flower beds, I'd get it near the tree, and so I'm having fescue sort of growing everywhere where I don't really want it to grow, unless it's that clumping fescue that's like that, sort of filler plant or whatever. But I don't want it just everywhere. So using the drop spreader, it does take a little bit more time to get it out, but that's fine because I can accurately put it along the side, put it along the sidewalk and between mine and the neighbor's house, and then I'll do my crisscross pattern. So, and I guess just get to putting some seed down. down, which is awesome. That spreader, while I do like it, I like it better than the Scott's one that I have. It's finicky. You know, you gotta find that middle ground between applying too much or not enough. If you're doing a spray fertilizer like I'm doing with the next line of products, and you're doing tenacity as a pre and a post emergent like I'm doing, you wanna go with the next products first, because especially here at my house, I'll show you some close-ups. I have a lot of clover, which is common this time of year, especially in this area with our wet winters. They just seem to thrive. So we have a lot of clover here. And so, you know, I don't want to spray the tenacity, then go on top of it with the next line of products, which is a liquid fertilizer, obviously, and then you wash off a lot of the tenacity. Even if you're using a surfactant and you come over it with water, you're gonna have some issues. So you wanna go ahead, spray the next first, get that into the soil, and then go ahead and come with the tenacity on top. And speaking of the next line of products, I'm gonna go ahead and jump over to that channel so I can do the spraying portion of this video. So. Went ahead, applied my liquid fertilizer. Now I need to go ahead and apply my Mesotrione. Now, if you recall, it is very small dose, half a teaspoon per gallon of water, and then each gallon covers 1,000 square feet, so you don't need much. You can over-apply this, and you can do some damage. The other thing you want to be careful of, or not be careful of, be mindful of, if you've never used it before, it can and will cause weeds and your baby grass to turn white. The weeds will turn white, then die. The baby grass will grow up white, and then as they mature, they will turn into their green color. So don't be alarmed if you see a bunch of white grasslings sprouting out of the ground. It's not an alien invasion. It's just the tenacity doing what it does. So anyway, let's go ahead and mix some of this tenacity. That is correct. In there. Done. Splishy splash. Good. Mixy mix. There we go. Now it goes without saying, you need to be cautious when using these kind of products because they are dangerous. You know, look at all the glyphosate lawsuits and stuff. So I do have my gloves on. I am wearing my shoes, my boots from my Christmas video because they were these boots and I convert them into Santa boots. I will be getting, typically you want long sleeve shirt, but they're all dirty, so I'm not wearing a long sleeve shirt, so that's not gonna happen. And I am gonna wear eye protection just in case. And then you're just gonna go ahead and spray and pray that you don't mess up, pray that it works. That is it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Like I said, the tenacity is a little bit intimidating, but as long as you have nice even coverage and you follow the instructions on it, you should and will be fine. That sprayer of mine, it needs to go. I'll never use it again. I'm gonna throw it in the trash. Now we're gonna water it in. I'm gonna let the tenacity sort of sit there, or the Mesotrione sit there for a little bit before I water it in, but I'm gonna go ahead and get it watered in here in the next hour or two. I'm just gonna let it sit there for a minute and do what it needs to do, and then water everything in, the fertilizer and the seed, and go from there, which is a whole nother process because I haven't really figured out how I want my sprinklers to go. Obviously along the sidewalk here, there'll be one here on the corner that will cover, probably shoot at the door more than likely. And then probably do another one over by the box over there. Yeah, I really don't know. I'm gonna figure it out though, because I have to. But anyway, that is it for this video. Hope you all liked it. Follow along with me on this process, if you will. We're gonna do updates and see how the seed is doing. But because I really can't mow or do anything for a few weeks, the rest of the content, other than updates and the next series of applications of fertilizer, everything else is gonna be on transforming that backyard, so stay tuned for that. I hope you liked this video. Please like, subscribe, comment below. Did you do a spring overseed yet? Are you planning on doing a spring overseed? Share your tips and tricks, if you will, if you want to. Let's just share that knowledge out there. But anyway, I will see you all in the next video. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Get outside, enjoy spring, and God bless.